Hi again, Year 11. This is lesson 2 of this week for you. We started looking yesterday at, early in the lesson 1, at quantities. So how to buy particular items of food and the quantities in which you buy them. So there's some more number practice today, please. As a starter, can you write down the following numbers in Spanish? So you're in the swing of this now. You just pause the video, do the work, do the task rather, and then start the video up when you are ready. So off you go when you're ready, and then restart the video. Okay, so what you should have come up with for these numbers here, these are high frequency, or they're used often, these numbers, and you do need to recognize them. On a practical level, if you're in Spain and you're listening to people talking about prices, then this is really helpful to you. They do include these in the reading and the listening exams as well, so you do need to know them. Okay, I'm just going to reveal these all in one go. So we've got for 0, 10, 10, 15, 15, 20 is 20, 25, 25, 30, 30, 35, 35. Now remember here, for 25, it was all one word. So we've got 20, the last E in 20 changes to an I, so that it becomes the sort of and. So 25, so the E and then the Y for and rolled together become one word, 25. For 35, 30, 40, 50, and so on, you just have the entire word, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and so on. Then you have and, E, and then you have the other number that goes with it. That's obviously because the words for 30, 40, 50, and so on end in A. 20 ends in E, so we have this amalgamation of the words. 40 is 40, 50, 50, 60 is 60, and 70 is 70. So those were your first ones there. In fact, I will leave those uncovered so you can use them again. Over here, we've got 80, 80, 90, 90, 100, 100. Now, when you have 110, 101, 102, you have to have the whole word ciento, and then you follow that with the rest of the numbers. So 110 is 110. 115 would be 115. 200, 300, 400, and so on for 200, 300, 400. 500, be careful with that. That frequently comes up in the reading and listening, and you do need to be able to spell this. It's 500. 600 for 600. 700 for 700. Again, a spelling change there, so be careful with that one. 800, 900, another spell change. 9 is 9, but 90 is 90, and 900 is 900, and then 1,000 is 1000. Okay, so once you've checked your work there and annotated it in red pen, you can move on. So objectives of this lesson, lesson number 2, is to use and understand numbers in Spanish. There was a role play in this, but in fact, I don't think we'll be doing that today. It's difficult to do a role play when you're doing online learning, but we will, by the end of the week, be setting targets on how to improve. Okay, so un poco de matemáticas, primero. If you can write that as your title, un poco de matemáticas. I'd like you, please, to write out the word for all of these. They're not some, well, yes, mostly these are adding different numbers together. We've got some different calculations below. So pause, do the work. When you're ready, start up again. Okay, so you're back, and now we've got 10 plus 61. So 10 más 61 son 71. 15 más 33 son 48. 16 más 45 son 60. 20 más 20 más 79, 20 and 30, 79, 99. 30 más 5 son 35. All right, so the way I'm saying the sum there is más for plus. So 30 más 5 son means equals, or literally it's are. 30 and 5 are 35. As a challenge, you've done that hopefully. 53 más 8 son 61. 68 menos 30. So 68 minus 30 son 38. 97 menos 16. So 97 minus 17 son 81. Sorry, it's 97. 97, take away 16. 81. 39 más 25 with a spelling mistake. That's terrible. Right, I'm just going to go back and change that. I think there's some, what's the word? Auto correct going on there. Right, so 39 más 25, 39 plus 25 son 64. 25 again. I'm so sorry about this. This should not be here. Let's get rid of that. 25 más 12 son, so 25 and 12 son 37, 37. Okay, so there's your maths practice going on there. And when you're ready, move on to the next slide. So pause the video, move on when you're ready. Okay, so here we are. If you can practice this on your own, can you confidently give numbers from 1 to 100? So have a go at doing these. I'll call them out in just a second. Maybe record yourselves doing this, just on your phone or something. Do these and then listen back. Okay, so when you're ready, move on. And tenemos 9, 10, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 29, 31, 38, 42, 53, 64, 75, 75, 88, 86, 97. Okay, so if you record yourself, compare it with my pronunciation and then correct anything you're not sure about. When you're ready, move on. Okay, so this is looking at costs and prices because this is where you will mostly come across high numbers. Obviously with times, you're probably using a 12-hour clock most of the time. With ages, they're not going to be, they may be quite large, I suppose. But for birthdays, it's always going to be up to and including, 31. So here with prices, this is where sometimes we get higher numbers. These ones, though, are generally going to be smaller because we're looking here at being euros and then centimos, which are cents, so the 100 cents in 1 euro. So the question, ¿cuánto cuesta, por favor? Would be answered possibly with 12 euros y 50 céntimos. So 2 euros, 50 cents. But we wouldn't normally hear them say cents. Just as in English, you don't normally say pence. You may say that's £2.50 or just 2.50. You wouldn't hear it's £2.50, very rarely. Okay. Okay, so some examples here next are a listening. So this is buying, talking about prices of fruits and vegetables. If you can please write down the correct price. If you get a chance, write down what they're mentioning. Okay, I'm going to play it and let you go through as before. If you want to pause the video, it will also then pause the listening, obviously. Okay, so obviously you've heard that once. If you want to go back and repeat it, you can have paused it all as you go through. It's entirely up to you. When you're ready to correct, so pause the tape now, do the check and see what you, listen again if you need to. Once you're ready to correct, we will do that now. Okay, so A was €1. Quanto cuesta was the question. How much does it cost? Quanto cuesta? If you're looking at, for example, shoes, and you want to say how much do they cost, it'd be quanto cuestan. So costar is the verb to cost. It's a stem changing verb. The O changes to UE. So it's cuesta or cuestan, depending on how, whether it's one thing or more than one thing. Número dos, ¿cuánto cuesta? 12 euros con 20 or 2 euros y 20 céntimos. You'll hear it in different ways, but the dos and 20 are key. Quanto cuesta is, remember how much does it cost. C, 4 euros y 25 céntimos. So you may hear 4 euros con 25, 4 euros 25, or 4 euros 25 céntimos. D, 3 euros 50. 3 euros 50, 3 euros 50. €1.50. €1.50. 3 euros con 75. 3 euros 75 cents. €1 con 30. €1 30 céntimos. H. 12 euros 25 céntimos. 2 euros 25. 12 euros 50. 2 euros 50. Y finalmente 80 céntimos. So you won't know how many euros, that's just 80 céntimos. Now there were some other vocab and other things on there that you may have noted down. The last one was una lechuga, is what you heard. And the second to last one, he wanted 2 kilos de manzanas, 2 kilos of apples. He asked the price, cuánto cuesta, 12 euros y 50 céntimos. There was some other language there, was aquí tiene, which is here you are, aquí tiene. Algo más, anything else. So aquí tiene, algo más, nada más, gracias, nothing else, thank you. And then there was just please and thank you, I think, gracias y por favor. Excuse me. Okay, so once you've checked that work, so pause the tape now, check your work, and when you're ready, move on. Okay, so here we are moving on. Now I'd like you to practice some conversations. Now, obviously you can't practice this. Normally what we do in class is, seems a long time ago we could do this. You could actually work with your partner and ask and answer the questions. So do this. If you can find a buddy online, if you can phone them up and have a WhatsApp conversation over the line, practicing these conversations, that would be brilliant. Things have changed this year. We don't know what's going to happen with the speaking endorsements at the moment. There will be something, but it won't be a role play, which is what this is in effect. But the whole point of learning the language is so you can speak it. So use this time to practice if you can. So you've got hola señor, ¿qué quieres? Hello sir, what do you like? What do you want? Quiero un kilo de tomates, and so on. All right, so go through those, practice them. We've got some coins at the bottom, which gives you the price. Okay, so use that just to practice for a few moments, either on your own or with someone online if you can find a study buddy. Okay, pause the video, do that. When you're ready, move on. Okay, so we're moving on, and we have here a reading. So here's a conversation. Buenos días. ¿En qué puedo servirle? Deme un kilo de zanahorias, por favor. So I want you to go through this, please. You're going to have to stop the video here or pause it here while you go through. There's quite a lot of vocabulary in here, and I want you, please, to add a sentence in a different tense. This is all in the present, so you may want to put the future in. Tomorrow we're going to make a tortilla. Tomorrow we are going to have a party. We need particular types of food. So put a sentence in a different tense, circle all the nouns indicating food, and underline all verbs. Okay, so you need to pause the video, pause el video, do the work, and when you're ready, start it up again. We will go through it together. Okay, so you're now looking at work where you've got verbs and nouns highlighted or written out in lists or however you've done it, and you thought about a different tense sentence. So reading through it, all the verbs. First verb is at the top here, en que puedo servirle. I need to just come out of this so I can do some work. So, ¿en qué puedo servirle? If you okay, ¿en qué puedo servirle? This verb here, how can I help you? Poder is the verb here from to be able to. Servirle, that le is used for you when you're talking to someone formally. It's usted. Deme is the next verb. Give me. From the verb dar, it's the imperative. De acuerdo, está bien, there's your next verb. That's fine. So far, good morning, how can I help you? Give me a kilo carrots, please. Of course, here, that's good. Then your next one. Me gustaría también, right? This is a different tense here. This is a conditional. I would like. Me gustaría también 100 gramos de jamón y necesito. Present tense, I need. Lo siento. Now there is a verb there from sentir, which is to feel, but it's basically I'm sorry. No quedan. Quedar is to be left or to stay. So what he's saying is there aren't any tins of tomatoes left. So it's the present tense from quedar. No quedan latas de tomates. No tins of tomatoes remain or are left. Aquí hay, there is or there are. Hay. Vale. ¿Cuánto cuesta? So cuesta is the verb from costar. Stem changing verb, as I said. So you need to have, how much does the cheese cost? ¿Cuánto cuesta el queso? Pues, quiero, I want 200 grams of cheese, please. Muy bien. ¿Es ese todo? Is that all? Is that all? That's the verb ser. Sí, gracias. ¿Cuánto es? How much is it? The verb ser again. And here, son, there's your last verb. Basically, they are €4.20. Okay, so there was your the first bit. You were looking at underlining verbs. Now we need to circle the nouns indicating food. So we've got the first one here is zanahorias, which is carrots. We've also got jamón, mantequilla, and tomates. So ham, butter, tomatoes. Tomatoes appears again here. And also jamón and mantequilla. So I'm not very good with this pen, but I'm doing my best. Okay, another food item coming up, queso, cheese. There's queso again. And that is the lot in terms of food. Then you needed to add a sentence in a different tense. So you may have put, we already had I would like. So you might want to say, I'm going to cook, voy a cocinar. Voy a preparar, what you're going to do. So however you've worked on, you may have a past tense, maybe yesterday you bought something and now you need something else. So where is it? I need some butter. Yesterday I bought olive oil. Okay, compré would be the present tense of comprar, to buy. Okay, so there is your reading. Take your time over that. Make sure you've understood it all. You're moving on now to another listening. And here you need to listen and complete the table in Spanish. You've got comida y bebida, cantidad y precio. So food and drink, quantity and price. The sorts of things that are going to be coming up here are vinagre, vinegar. Now he talks about olive oil, but there isn't any, so he ends up buying vinegar. Cantidad, what would vinegar come in? It would come in a bottle. So here he wants 2 bottles, dos botellas. And the precio, I can't remember. but it's €8, 8 euros for the 2 bottles of vinegar. Okay, we will correct this after you've done the listening. So pause el video. When you pause the video when you need to, you'll need to listen to, let it run to get the listening, but you can stop it sort of as you go through. Okay, so that is the wrong listening for that. What I'm going to do, I don't know how that's happened. I will put up the link to the listening you need for this in Google Classroom. So when we get to this screen, rather than me playing it, you're going to have the link to it and you can play it as many times as you like and then correct it. So I'm going to assume you're now pausing the video, pause el video, go into Google Classroom, find the link, do the listening with this in front of you, and then when you've done it, then start the video up again and we will do the correction. Okay, so I'm assuming you've now done that, and here is the correction. So the first one was vinagre, 2 botellas, 8 euros. Número 2, melocotones, peaches, 200 gramos, 200 grams. 3,50 €, 3,50 €. Número 3, barras de pan, loaves of bread. Quiere 3, he wants 3. Y el precio, I can't see that, that's 5 euros y 20 céntimos, 5 euros 20. Número 4, quiere zanahorias, la cantidad 2 kilos y el precio 4 euros 80 céntimos. Número 5, tomates, quiere tomates, 3 kilos de tomates, el precio 6 euros. So they're 2 euros a kilo. Número 6, patatas, quiere potatoes, una bolsa, so a bag, una bolsa de patatas, y el precio 7 euros, 7 euros. Número 7, guisantes, peas, pepino, cucumber. Quiere primero 100 gramos de guisantes, 100 grams of fresh peas, y 2 pepinos, so 2 cucumbers. El precio en total son 5 euros con 90 céntimos, 5 euros 90. Y número 8, huevos, eggs y manzanas, apples. So los huevos quiere 6 huevos y las manzanas quiere 500 gramos de manzanas. Y el precio para todo eso es 9 euros con 75 céntimos. Okay, so check your work. Work out what did you not hear the quantity? Did you get the price wrong? Did you forget what the items were? You should be able to translate all those as well. When you've corrected that and you're ready to move on, then here we go. Okay, so write your own conversations. You saw these before, and I'd just like you to spend a little bit of time doing some work practicing. So look back at all the vocabulary we've looked at today for fruits and vegetables and write your own conversations, maybe changing the prices around, getting used to hearing the vocabulary and practicing the quantities. And then after that, just looking back at the objectives of the lesson, it's about using numbers accurately, completing the role play. We're doing it as a written conversation, and we will be setting targets in lesson 3. Thank you very much indeed, year 11. That's lesson 2 completed.